we have a blockbuster prediction that will lead to Mr. Sixth Man of the Year campaign for the Cleveland Cavaliers to return on a shocking higher end deal than what we expected, when what we thought was going to be an impossible decision for the Cavs, it now seems like they are predicted to bring this man back on way more money than we could ever ask for, and now fans are starting to give their opinion on this deal and what this means for the Cavs and what this means for this player, and if he's worth bringing him back for this much money. This could be a blockbuster deal that could completely affect the future of the Cavaliers and could completely change the culture of the Cavaliers because of playoff issues between almost every player that they tend to sign. There's so many things going on right now. Thank you guys for joining me on Cavs Digest. Speaking of so many things going on, the reason I asked for you guys to hit that subscribe button, tell you guys to hit the subscribe button, is because there are so many things that happen in free agency, rumors. And if you're not scrolling through certain Twitter pages, certain X pages, certain Instagram pages every single day, you're going to miss them. So if you subscribe to Cavs Digest, you're not going to miss a single Cavs update. I know we have over the weekend a little bit. We were a little quiet. Me and Billy each had our own personal endeavors, we'll say, that prevented us from posting, but it's still basically a daily thing from us to you guys on the Cavs updates. And on the last video, I'm going to get into this news in just a second, guys. But in the last video, you guys showed so much support. It was one of our best videos in the recent month. Gained a lot of subscribers, a lot of views, and I want to say I really appreciate you guys for all the comments. Over 60 comments. You guys giving your thoughts on every video. That's what I love to see. I love to hear so many different opinions. That's what makes sports media so fun. Is hearing how everyone has different thoughts and different perspectives on so many things. So go ahead to the subscribe button. Go make some friends. Go interact and join Cavs Digest so you can get every single Cavs update. But we have a big player update today, and that is on Mr. Ty Jerome. Apparently, there is a prediction, and analysts are starting to realize that this guy could be returning to the Cleveland Cavaliers very, very soon, and it seems like this might be their biggest priority in the offseason. And that's what's crazy to me, is because I made a video on Ty Jerome earlier, I think about a week ago, maybe a little longer, about how it's going to be an impossible decision for the Cavs if they want to re-sign him, if he's worth the money, and now it seems like he's the top priority. And I also made a video on Sam Merrill. This is Steal for the Cavs. That's the video title. I made a video on him. And it seems like these guys, re-signing these guys, are their biggest priority. But Ty Jerome's is the scariest because he's worth the most money. So let's see on what he was predicted to make. So this is what it is right here. Cavs predicted to re-sign Ty Jerome with raise starting near $14 million. This is from Sam Amico from the posted this link from HoopsWire. So let's kind of look at the HoopsWire post. We have it right here. Since the Cav, so I'm going to read it. This is from Ashish Mathur from HoopsWire. I'm so sorry if I said that name wrong. If you guys want to pronounce it, please let me know. Since the Cavaliers are already above the second apron, they can only sign free agents to minimum contracts outside of their own players. Pincus wrote, he interviewed this guy named Pincus, or that was his last name. Ashish wrote this article. Interviewed Pincus, and Pincus said, Jerome is the big question mark in that regard. How high is the budget for one of the Sixth Man of the Year finalists, particularly after the up and down playoff showing? The projection is the Cavaliers go hard for another year, including keeping Jerome with a raise starting near $14 million. Boom. That's a lot of money. And the biggest question right now, the biggest question mark, is the playoff issues. But I'm starting to think that it might not be a player-to-player issue, because the Cavs' full team has playoff struggles. There was only a couple of guys that really stood out. Oh, this guy was consistent, because in reality, even Mitchell had bad games, including the Game 5 loss where he missed 3 free throws in the clutch. Yes, he had a good fourth quarter, but he had played bad for most of that game. And I'm starting to really think maybe it's not a player-to-player issue, so we need to stop blaming the players, but some of them you can blame. But that's a different issue. But we'll talk about this deal itself and about Ty Jerome, who, of course, his biggest thing was his regular season play, where he took a big step up. 12.5 points per game, 3 assists, 51% from the field, and 44% from 3, which is filthy. The 50-40-90 club is something that's super coveted in the NBA. 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 90% from the free throw line. He was just under that on the free throw line, but that's still an incredible thing to see from him. And of course, I mean, this is just a player that has showcased so much talent for the Cavs this year. I talked about in the intro his Sixth Man of the Year campaign. I'll talk about the numbers on him winning Sixth Man of the Year, because he didn't even come in second. And what a lot of Cavs fans were kind of in disbelief. They thought that this guy should have had it. They thought that this man, Ty Jerome, who's one of the craftiest finishers in the NBA. I'm going to show you guys his floater compilation from NBA University on X. Go check them out. They have my favorite basketball content, NBA content, some of my favorite edits that they make. But Ty Jerome's an elite sharpshooter, just an elite scorer from everywhere on the court. I personally, he made that shot, by the way. Of course he did. It was a highlight reel. I love Ty Jerome, and I love what he did, especially in the regular season and his early games against the Heat. But his later playoff struggles is what really caused the issues. So now we have another video here. That is Isaiah. Stewart. This is his floater compilation from NBAU. The bottom did get cut off, but it showed you like his floater percentage is top of the NBA, and his floater attempts is near the top of the NBA. This guy loves that floater. One of the lost arts of the small guard, of course. He's just a very crafty finisher, and he can score from all three levels. And he had some phenomenal performances, even in the playoffs, especially against the Heat, which I will show you here. But you can just see this guy's just phenomenal from the floater. He can score all three levels, and that's what makes him so great. And now it's time to talk about his biggest issues and why we are concerned as Cavs fans. So this is his playoff statistics. Obviously, I know it's small, but you can kind of see the field goals and field goal attempts. The top one against the Heat is the biggest one that stands out to me. It says 10 for 15 with 24 points, and that's when we were like, dang. And then he went for 13, then he went for just under 20, and we were like, dang, like this guy's gonna take us to the promised land. Like, we were talking about how this was the Cavs' next big thing. If you scroll down the page, you'll see we made a bunch of videos on Ty Jerome and how this guy is the answer to the Cavs bench depth, how this guy will take you to the promised land. And then you go back to it and you see, wow, this guy went 1 for 4, or this guy went 8 for 20, and 1 for 14, and 1 for 8. And then the game 5, he shot 3 for 5. He didn't play till the third quarter. Kenny Atkinson was losing trust in this guy where he didn't play him to the third quarter. He came in and hit 2 threes. He played good, brought the momentum up, got the crowd going. But again, an 8 for 20 and a 1 for 14 performance in games 1 and 2 at home, where if you shoot 2 for 14, you win game 2. And if you shoot that's what really stings about Ty Jerome is his playoff performances against the Pacers. And why we question if $14 million is too much when you're unproven. But my biggest issue is a lot of guys, there might be a culture issue with the Cavs, and that's a different video to talk about, because a lot of these players underperform every single year, even though they have such strong regular seasons. And he's one of them. Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, other guys we've talked about before. I'm sure you guys are sick and tired of talking about right now. But this guy had a big Sixth Man of the Year campaign, came in third, got 2 first-place votes. Shout out to those 2 people. I think the guys should stand up and shake my hand, because that is phenomenal for him, honestly. Like, super good for Ty Jerome that he almost came in Sixth Man of the Year. Probably should have won it. Had all those third-place votes, a lot of second-place votes. Malik Beasley and Pam Pritchard were hoopers, but in reality, Ty Jerome could have won it and had a reasonable argument to win it. But what we're here to talk about today is, of course, this prediction that the Hoops Wire made, that Ty Jerome could be signing this $14 million deal. And it's really in question for me now. Is Ty Jerome worth $14 million? And can we just keep blaming everyone for the playoff success? Because if you look at the Cavs' whole playoff success, like since Donovan Mitchell, you could really start to blame almost anyone for the playoffs. So do the Cavs just blow it up? Is it just every player that's an issue, or is there coaching, cultural issues that happen? But I could talk about that right now, but I'm just going to ask that question in case you guys want to speak about it, because the main point is Ty Jerome worth avoiding because of his playoff failure, or should we just keep going at it? Because a lot of teams take time to develop, but it is sad that the Cavs have had such a long rebuild stint, and they finally got out of it since LeBron left, and they became a 64-win team, and now they're back to the playoff losing like they were last year and against the Knicks 2 years ago. But let's focus on track with Ty Jerome, who, as I showed you guys, is just a phenomenal basketball player. And the way that I talk about Ty Jerome and think about Ty Jerome is that he could play a big factor in our future if he signs this $14 million deal. Again, the Cavs are a second apron team. If they sign this guy for a big contract, they could be blowing themselves up in free agency. When I made a video talking about big free agents like Isaiah Stewart, Dorian Finney-Smith, guys that they could really go out and get. And now, and Jalen Suggs, who was a blockbuster deal that was apparently rumored. There's so many things going on with the Cavs right now. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button and follow Cavs Digest. What do you guys think about this Ty Jerome news? Is this projection going to happen? Are they going to sign Ty Jerome, let alone for $14 million? I personally think that it should be okay to let him walk, but I would love to see Ty Jerome back, and hopefully he can scratch off those 2 bad playoff games that he had against the Pacers in game 1 and 2. But let me know how you guys feel. And of course, so you don't miss any Cavs update, any Cavs report, go ahead and subscribe button. I'm Matt Palange. Thank you guys for joining.